Hi there, Gareth here again. Got a special video today about some of the treats of various kinds that my family have brought on their visit. Some things from England that'll be unfamiliar to a lot of people here. And we'll start with the savoury thing that's here. Cheese footballs. These are kind of a biscuity, wafery football shape with a cheese flavoured filling. Probably no real cheese in there. It's something we'd maybe have Christmas just as a treat, not something we'd eat very often. But this is something you don't have here. And yeah, I do like them maybe once a year maximum. They are a good thing to try. Now to move on to some sweets, some traditional sweets we've got here. Show you these one at once. I'll start with everybody's grandparents' favourite sweet. You have a grandparent in Britain, they will have Werther's Original. Both of my grandmothers always had Werther's Original, they always gave us them. So it's kind of butter, it says butter candies. This one's filled with caramel cream. These are fancy ones. But it's predominantly butter and cream based sweet, so it's very good. I do like these are really good. I do look forward to opening these when it's time. I have a lot here, I'm not eating everything now, I'll end up in a diabetic coma, so it's good to try some other things. Got three similar ones here. Fruit gums, fruit pastels, but these are dessert flavoured, so these are even less healthy based. And jelly tots. So they're all gelatin based sweets with fruit flavours. Fruit gums being the toughest, fruit pastels being softer, and these tots being smaller and have these two have a sugar coating, the gums don't. So these are quite traditional, and you find these and things like them. This is the Rowntree's brand, which is the famous brand of this kind of sweet. So that's three different types there, all quite similar in idea, all good. I've got two. These are traditional old-fashioned sweets from my county, Yorkshire. So I'll start explaining rhubarb and custard. So these are hard-boiled sweets, not ones you can chew. They'll last quite a long time. Rhubarb and custard. Rhubarb is a fruit that's native to my city and the two neighbouring cities. There's three cities called Leeds, Bradford and Wakefield, which are considered the rhubarb triangle. Between them, they grow most of the world's rhubarb. So this fruit you will not find even in all of Britain. It's predominantly in West Yorkshire, so near my city. And this is mixed with custard, which being crème Inglês in Portuguese or crème anglais in French. So these other cultures will call it English cream in their own language. Custard you make out of egg yolks, vanilla, sugar, cream, and you thicken it with corn flour quite often, and you can add milk. And there's different variations, but it's the most traditional dessert sauce in Britain, and it's used all around the world, other countries' cuisines. So that's what this is tasted. So something creamy with rhubarb. It's a very sour, bitter fruit. You need to cook it with a lot of sugar for it to be edible. You couldn't just eat it raw by itself. It would be far too bitter and sour. And Yorkshire mixture, another thing you'll find in a traditional sweet shop in the north of England. It's hard-boiled sweets, the same. Different varieties and flavours. I'm not sure exactly what they all are individually, but they're all different fruit flavourings usually. So that's a very good type of sweet as well. I like the general idea of these. Now I'm going to move on to chocolates. I'll start with Quality Street. This is one of the main boxes of chocolates you find. This is quite a big one my mum brought. It's often, as you can see, most of them have gone. And the purple one and the green triangle are usually the best ones, and of course they've all gone. The variety of different fillings and types of chocolate. This is one of the famous brands of individual chocolates like this. Quality Street is. People usually have one of these around Christmas in their house. And yeah, I've eaten most of this. It is only me over here in Brazil that likes this. My wife doesn't. As you can see there, it's an individual segment of chocolate to look like an orange. So it's orange infused chocolate, and it was a whole orange before I ate most of it. There's enough here to show you. Very interesting idea, people here agree, but my wife, sister, they don't like chocolate being mixed with orange. Chocolate coins, traditional at Christmas. There's a full sack here and there's one here. This is a 10p piece, as you can see, much bigger than the real 10p. And it's got the Queen's head still, no Prince Charles yet. It's individually foil wrapped. It's milk chocolate inside, as you can see here. I like these, it's a bit soft, it's been out of the fridge too long. Very good milk chocolate. And every Christmas, if your mum doesn't give you this, it's time to start arguing. Not just children argue about this, even bigger children in their 30s would argue if they didn't have some chocolate coins on Christmas morning. Here, we have something I've never seen before. It's a mixture of Milky Bar, which is our most famous brand of white chocolate, and mini eggs. Very common at Easter, mini eggs. They're kind of got a sweet sugary coating and it's chocolate inside, it's a little egg shape. It's an Easter kind of thing. But they put the mini eggs inside a white chocolate bar. Very good idea. Did have two of these, but my wife and I have already eaten one, so there's just one left now. It was good though. Very good creation, new creation. Here we are, wagon wheels. This is a big packet, I've already eaten one. They're individually wrapped like this. This is the jam flavour. The red wagon wheel is original. The originals existed first, so they got the red colour. They should have been blue really, so they could have red for jam. That would make more sense to me. But they already exist. And here we are, wagon wheels. Inside there's a biscuit, as it says here. Biscuit, mallow, jam, and chocolate flavoured coating. So it's not even real chocolate on it, I don't think, but it's got the biscuit, marshmallow, and got a bit of jam and the chocolate. I remember these being common at children's parties when I was a child. You'd leave wagon wheels on the table and they would disappear very quickly. Very popular kind of. It is a biscuit with fillings. Now I move on to the most controversial item on here. Jaffa cakes. I've already eaten one lot of them, as you can see here. It has the. Some people say biscuit, some people say cake. Those who say biscuit are wrong. Jaffa cakes, clues in the name. So there's cake at the bottom. There is a orange jelly on top of the cake, and it's covered in chocolate. So these are very good. They're very Moorish. You can end up eating quite a lot of these. They are better than the chocolate orange in my opinion. We don't eat a lot of cake in Britain in comparison to biscuits, but these are probably the most popular cake that exists in our country that you can buy in your supermarkets. We're not talking freshly baked things from a bakery. They're a completely different level. And yeah. Jammy Dodgers. These are two biscuits, just normal plain biscuit, with the cream, and then there's jam. As you can see here, there's a little heart-shaped hole, so you can see a bit of the jam. These are very popular. I think when I was a child, these were my favourite. You go to a children's party, there'd be some Jammy Dodgers down and they would disappear faster than anything else. These and the wagon wheels, if they were at a child's party, they'd gone in seconds. So yeah, these are a very popular kind of biscuit. Okay, these two here were both of my grandmother's favourite biscuits. I also really like these. These are possibly my favourites too. So we've got the fig rolls. I'll explain these first. You have in Brazil guava rolls. They have a kind of soft biscuit round, and there's a kind of a jelly of fruit inside. It's a very similar idea, only this has fig inside. It's the fruit are selected, it's just different. I do like the guava ones, by the way, in Brazil. They're very good, but I do prefer fig rolls a bit more, just a bit more accustomed. I think fig has a bit more flavour than guava sometimes, but guava is a good fruit. Ginger nuts. My wife doesn't like ginger, so that means more for me, so I think that's good. Quite a strong biscuit. I think it's one that if you leave these biscuits a while, they start to get a bit softer, and I think these are nicer, softer. This isn't the case for other types of biscuit, but this biscuit is better, softer. I've got a few of these, and they'll all be for me because my wife doesn't like, so I don't have to share. That's good. We have a biscuit assortment here. It's got malted milks, just a milk-based biscuit. Shortcake is a very traditional, shortcake or shortbread's very traditional, very popular in the north of England and Scotland. A very good quality of biscuit, very buttery. Custard creams and bourbon creams, very similar. Custard creams is it's normal plain biscuit, but it has a bit of custard filling inside, and the bourbon ones is just the chocolate version of the same thing. So usually custard creams is considered a bit, it's not very good. Yeah, it's not special. It's just custard creams kind of reaction. The bourbons, on the other hand, chocolatey, much better. So they're considered like a better version of the custard cream by a lot of people. Now here we have a fancier box of shortbread. These are probably to be saved until we go to somebody's house or a more special occasion, because this is a very good quality Scottish shortbread set. It's a very buttery, crumbly kind of biscuit. It's very good. One of the best kinds of biscuits that exists anywhere in the world, in my opinion. Very good biscuit. Very buttery, very crumbly, very Moorish. You could quite easily eat all of these to yourself if you're that way inclined. Okay, let's put those down. Now we show the different kinds of tea. Yorkshire tea is the best kind of tea that exists in the world. It's a black tea, hot with milk, and goes very well with biscuits. In Britain, we're a very tea and biscuits kind of place, whereas in Brazil, where I live now, it's more coffee and cake, and that's fine also, but tea and biscuits is a lot better, and I won't hear otherwise. So this is the normal one. As you can see, a lot of images of the Yorkshire countryside. We have a lot of countryside, especially in the north of our county. Very nice place to spend your time if you travel to Britain, is the Yorkshire countryside, especially North Yorkshire. Now this is the gold blend. Not bought this before, I think it's probably more expensive, but this will be the special stuff they have. And this will stay closed until I have a special occasion, and then I'll use that. This last thing I will show you is the Yorkshire tea, but it's infused. Jam on toast, so usually strawberry jam we would have on toast. Quite common breakfast food. I used to like jam more when I was a child. As I got older, I was less fond of it. I would rather something savoury, but quite often it's something people will have for breakfast. And they've infused this tea with jam on toast flavouring. I don't know why anybody decided this was a good idea. I don't like sugar in my tea, so it being infused with something sweet, I don't think I will like this. If the comments underneath, I get some requests to drink this on a video, I will. But I do have a little bit of dread. It could be good, it could be alright, or it could be the worst thing I've ever drank in my life. And that's how it could be. Very strange idea. I don't know why you would do this. You could just have a normal cup of tea and some jam on toast together. I don't know why you want your tea to taste like jam on toast, but that exists. And here, got 2 custard creams here. We already had a packet open, so you can see these properly. I've got a cup of Yorkshire tea, and this mug is on my favourite rugby team in England. Got it as a present, it's very good. So you have a little dip in there. In England, most people don't have the full afternoon tea like you would here. All the sandwiches, all of the different cakes and stuff. This is mainly elderly people who are retired, or wealthy people who don't need to work in the afternoon like everybody else usually does. But most people will just have whatever packet of biscuits are open, probably custard creams, and a cup of tea. Have a proper meal another time, but you have the upper class version with all the scones and the cakes and the fancy little sandwiches. You'd have a more basic sandwich and a packet of biscuits if you're a more normal person. Okay? How do you go wrong with tea and biscuits? A classic of our country. I hope you found this video interesting. If you have any questions about any of the items here, put them in the comments. If there is anything you would like to try specifically, put this in the comments too. Anything you think would be terrible, like I said about this jam and toast infused tea, comment as well. Or you might think wagon wheels look terrible. For example, I think they tasted a lot nicer when I was a child. Maybe that's just my taste buds being more mature. Put in the comment. If there's anything equivalent in your country you'd like to mention or ask if I've tried, feel free to do that. If you've got any kind of requests of a different kind of video to explain something about British culture specifically, or you've heard something you want to know if it's true or not, put it in the comments and I can plan to make videos that interest my viewers. So please leave your comments, please like and subscribe, and share the video with your friends. I'll see you in another video. Goodbye.